Okay, now moving into video number two. Video number two to go ahead emphasizing and understanding the true complex of the plyometric movements. So for our first move, we got to go ahead and just perform a general warm up with exercises activities to go ahead and warm up our body for our today's workout. So we got to go ahead and got the jump rope. We're gonna be performed for 3 minutes. Right, let's go ahead and get our body isolated and warmed up to go ahead and get ready for the workout. Then for our dynamic stretching, we got leg swings, arm circles. For the leg swings, for a minute and a half each, one you can do frontal leg swings and lateral. So what this is gonna help us do is get our body a little bit more warmed up, open up our hips, warm up our quads, and making sure that we don't have any tight hips performing a lot of the leg movements that we have. Then for arm circles, we be doing arm circles for a minute and a half each side. Right, so it'll be a total of 3 minutes per exercise. So total 6 minutes total for between the two exercises, but for 3 minutes per. So arm circles going forward, arm circles going backwards. Then we got a light jog or high knees. So for the light jog and high knees, you could do it around the building just for 2 minutes. Or the high knees, how I performed it in today's workout, is just going to be for only 2 minutes. Now moving on to our specific warm-up exercises and activities. We got to go ahead and move into bodyweight squats for 2 sets of 15. All right, but for the bodyweight squats, we want to make sure that we practice our full range of motion. By doing that, we want to make sure that our hips pass our knees and that our body faces up straight. You don't want to make sure that our shoulders are not rounded off. We want to make sure that our chest is nice and high. We can be able to see it to practice that proper form and full range of motion of the squat. Then we got arm circles with dumbbells. So for the arm circles and dumbbells, it's very, very important that we do actually go a little bit lighter on this movement, because it's very, very easy that we do hurt ourselves with this movement. Right. So by doing that, we want to go no heavier than 5 pounds or even 10 pounds at most, depending how strong the person or athlete is. So 2 sets of 10 is perfect with 5 pounds. So it's going to be each direction. So it'll be 20 total reps doing the movement. So make sure that we're coming 10 reps going forward, 10 reps coming back. Then with lunges with torso twist, it's going to be 2 sets of 10 per side. So whenever you do the torso lunge performing the lunge first, you want to make sure that our knee is hovering slightly over the ground. Then with a torso twist, you just go ahead and just twist your side. So 10 per side is going to be 20 totals per rep, because one torso twist to the right and to the left is going to be 1 complete rep. So now our modality number 1, we got lower and upper body plyometrics with and without equipment. So for exercise number 1, we got the box jump. So for the first set, we're going to go ahead and just perform the box jump to step down, which is going to be the variation easy for our first set. So it's going to be the easiest set out of all the 3. So we're going to go ahead and do feet are going to shoulder width apart and step down with alternating leg for 10 reps. So whenever we're doing we're going to go ahead and focus on just bringing up our hip extension, fully extending our hips and landing on the box nice and softly. And then when we're coming down, we don't want to put a lot more emphasis on our knees. So what we're going to go ahead and do is step down nice and slow and easy. But after every rep, we're alternating leg. So the same leg that you step down should not be happening. You should be stepping down with your right. Then for the next set or next reps, alternating with your left. So 5 on your right, 5 on your left. Now moving on to set number 2 for the moderate intensity set. To make it a little bit harder, we're going to be performing a lateral box jump to low box. So we're going to do is face lateral to the box jump to box with full hip extension to low box. So for my exercise, for my workout, I did the same box only because I am capable of performing that exercise with the box jump that you used. So you're going to go ahead and do 8 to 10 reps with the box jump. So because it is a little bit more intense, we have the 8 rep mark to go ahead and, have that just in case you cannot perform all the 10 reps. So making sure that we do stay safe. You don't want to hurt yourself, which is why I did program the low box, so we can go ahead and just practice that lateral box jump to, fully get that full hip extension. Then we got the set number 3. We got weighted box step downs with high jump with duals, dumbbells 15 pounds on each side. So you're going to go ahead and do a step down with dumbbells and release once feet are planted and perform one singular high jump for 4 to 6 reps. So with this, you're going to go ahead and just step down, practicing step down with both dumbbells in your hand. Once you're on the ground, you're going to go ahead and move forward and drop them and release and perform the high jump. Then for exercise number 2, we got incline hand release push-up with pop-up. So the first set, we got incline hand release push-up. hands on elevated surface, shoulder width apart, handstands on the box jump, bench, and step for 10 to 12 reps. So for my workout, I did it on the box jump. However, I did change it to incline push-up just to go ahead and get more used to just getting that chest down all the way down to the ground and being on an elevated surface. Then for set number 2, for the moderate intensity, we got hand release to narrow pop-up. From the bottom position, you're going to pop up hands and land in narrow push-up position, hands closer together for 8 to 10 reps. So with that, whenever you are on the second set, you're going to start out with shoulder width apart hand position. Then once you pop up, your hands are coming off the ground. You're going to go ahead and bring your hands closer together, moving to a full tricep extended exercise variant. Then for set number 3, you got hand release clap push-up. For that, you're going to go ahead and hand release push-up to pop up with clap at the top position and landing on hands, shoulder width apart for 4 to 6 reps. So for this set, making sure that we do not land on our face, you want to be able to pop up with your hands, clap together. Not only that, whenever you clap, you want to bring your hands as fast as down to the ground, making sure that plyometric movement and quickness comes into play. So whenever you don't, when you get to the ground, you don't land on your face. So you're also the same width that you're standing, so hand, shoulder width apart together is going to be where you're landing, and that's how you should be moving forward. Now moving to data number 2, we got Olympic cleans with kettlebells. For exercise number 1, we got kettlebell hand cleans. So set number 1, we got kettlebell hand cleans with lightweight for the variation easy set. So you're going to go ahead and hinge, swing both back, then explode up and clean into rack with weight at an RPE 6 for 8 to 10 reps. So the weight should not be very heavy, it should be very doable. This weight should be able to be performed very highly and well. And then that can lead us to our set number 2, which is going to be a kettlebell hand cleans from swing. So what you're going to do is go ahead and begin with single arm swing motion at hip extension. Pull the kettlebell into rack position using elbow drive and wrist rotation. Catch softly with elbow tucked and wrist straight for 6 to 8 reps each side. Right? So what this move is going to allow us to do is actually perform the swing position to the kettlebell by rotating our wrist and bringing our elbow drive all the way up to the rack position. Which can go us to prepare ourselves to a set number 3, which is going to be the hardest variation intense set, which is going to be the hand clean to push press. So you're going to perform a power clean to rack position, immediately dip and drive the kettlebell overhead in a push press for 5 reps each side. So whenever we perform the power clean to rack position, you want to immediately dip and drive the kettlebell overhead into a push press. So make sure that we hinge our hips, have our knees slightly bent and pushing up, fully extending into that elbow extension position, right? Which can give us a full range of motion and fluid motion into the hand clean and press. Now we got exercise number 2 for kettlebell power cleans, right? For set number 1, we got single arm dead kettlebell cleans. You're gonna start with the kettlebell between your thighs, or between your feet. Hinge at the hips, grip the handle with one hand, guide into the rack position, elbow tucked, wrist neutral for 8 reps each side, right? So we're always starting at the bottom. We start at the floor, right? Or you're just bringing that weight up into the power clean position by putting up the elbow tucked and putting the wrist neutral and having the weight at the rack position. For set number 2, we got single arm kettlebell power cleans from swing. You're gonna begin with the kettlebell in front and swing it back between the legs as you extend the hips. Pull and rotate the kettlebell into the rack position, 6 to 8 reps each side. Then for set number 3, we got dual kettlebell power cleans from the floor. So you got 2 kettlebells outside your feet. Perform a powerful hinge and clean both kettlebells into rack position simultaneously. So this one's gonna actually be the only one that's actually not single arm by bringing the kettlebells back up together to move forward, right? So we make sure that we when we're performing the cleans, is we use our hips and our lower bodies to bring that weight upward to go and get that full extension in our hips. Now we got modality number 3. We got quickness reaction drills with tennis, tennis ball, and reaction balls. So for exercise number 1, we got a wall bounce catch. So for set number 1, we got the medicine ball slam ball. Stand 4 to 6 feet away from a wall. Underhand toss the ball with your right hand. Catch with your left for 30 seconds each side for a total. So that'll be a total of 1 minute. So you want to make sure that we stand 4 to 6 feet away from the ball. Make sure that we catch the ball. This is going to go ahead and allow us to do, instead with the medicine ball, actually change it to the tennis ball. So when you're going to perform the underhand toss and catch it with the other hand, right? Either you can be underhand or overhand. Overhand. So one's going to be supinated grip, the other will be pronated grip with the other hand. Now moving to set number 2, we got a medicine ball reaction ball. So you're going to stand 5 to 6 feet from the wall, toss the reaction ball against the wall using one hand, catching the opposite hand with the bounce for 20 to 30 seconds. So with this exercise, It was not doable with one hand. So what I did was I go ahead and just threw the ball to like a wall toss, and I'll go ahead and catch it from overhand, throwing the ball overhand to underhand. Now moving to exercise number 2, we got a lunge tennis ball reaction drill. For set number 1, we got self drop and catch. Stand tall, hold a tennis ball in one hand at shoulder height, drop it and catch it with the same height before it hits the floor for 6 to 8 reps each side. Then we got to go ahead and partner drop and catch. You stand directly in front of hands at your sides. Partner randomly drops the ball and hits the ground for 6 to 8 reps each side. And then for set number 3, we got a split stance reaction to sprint catch. Start in the athletic stance, 5 to 6 feet from partner. On a visual cue, partner tosses the ball in any direction, explode and sprint to catch. Vary ball placement, left, right, center, randomly, 5 to 6 reps each side. So this is going to go ahead and now move into modality number 4, since I am losing a little bit of time. Truck body plyometric with or without equipment. For exercise number 1, we got medicine ball rotational slams. Set 1, seated medicine ball rotational toss. Sit on the floor with knees bent and flat feet and hold a light ball, medicine ball with both hands. Rotate your torso to one side and toss the ball against a wall or to a partner, 8 to 10 each side. Set number 2, we got standing medicine ball rotational slam. So you're going to stand with feet shoulder width apart, hold a moderate weight medicine ball, rotate your torso to one side and explosively slam the ball onto the floor, catch a rebound, and repeat on the other side. This is going to be performed in 6 to 8 reps each side. Then for set number 3, we got overhead medicine ball rotational slam. Stand with feet shoulder width apart, holding a heavy medicine ball overhead, rotate your torso, and slam the ball onto the floor beside your hip, catch a rebound, and repeat on the other side, 4 to 6 reps each side. Right, that will be concluding our modality number 4. We're going to be moving forward to now hopefully modality number 6. So for exercise number 2, modality number 5, yeah, exercise 2, we got body and weight trunk rotations. So for the first movement, we're going to go ahead and be moving. For exercise 2, we got body weight truck rotations with and without weight. For set 1, we got standing truck twist. You're going to stand with feet shoulder width apart and hands on hips. Slowly rotate your torso to one side, then to the other without moving your hips. Focus on controlled movement and breathing for 10 to 12 each side. Right? Now for set number 2, we got jumping jacks with truck rotations. Focus on controlled movement and breathing. Perform a standard jumping jack, but as you jump, rotate your torso to one side for 15 to 20 reps. So we're going to make sure that we're breathing our techniques, make sure that we do engage our core in all these first 2 sets. That's the whole point, is to really get used to our core, fully engaged with the movements. Then we got our plyometric. For set number 3, we got our plyometric Russian twist. So you're going to sit on the floor with your knees bent and feet either on the ground or slightly elevated. Quickly twist your torso to one side and the ball to a partner or against the wall for a total of 15 reps. So for my workout, I did not have a partner, so all these exercises are going to be self-instructed and self-inflicted. So now moving on to modality number 5, we got Olympic lift snatch with variation exercises with equipment. So we got exercise number 1, we got barbell hang snatch with bar. Set 1, we got muscle snatch with no load. That means with no weight. So you're going to start with the hang position, bar just above the knees, with no jump under the bar. Use an explosive hip extension and pull the bar overhead in one fluid motion. Catch with the straight arm, standing tall, 5 reps. For set 2, we got hang snatch power cleans with light loads. You're going to go a little bit lighter. I only use 10 pounds within this exercise. So start with the bar just above the knees. Explosively extend the hips. Shrug and pull under the bar. Catch the bar in a partial overhead squat. Above parallel. Light barbell, 4 to 60% of 1 RM through 3 to 5 reps. I did not do that. Honestly, I have not performed a power snatch within years. So I don't know how I'm on my AM. I just know the 10s felt a little bit difficult than I was expecting. However, now moving to set number 3, we got the hang full snatch to moderate to heavy load. So I only did 25 pounds. To me, it felt pretty heavy, I would say. So start with this hang position. Use powerful hip extension to drop into full overhead squat. Tall, moderate, heavy barbell at a 60 to 85% of 1 RM. 80% 1 RM 2 to 3 reps. Now moving to exercise number 2, we got dumbbell hang snatches. For set 1, we got single arm double muscle snatch from hang. Start with the dumbbell at your side, hanging just above the knees. Hinge slightly at the hips, explosively extend the hips, and pull the dumbbell straight overhead into one fluid motion for 6 reps each side. Then we're gonna go ahead and do a single arm dumbbell power snatch from hang position. So you're gonna start with the dumbbell between the legs, hang position, using a hip hinge to load, then explode up, pulling the dumbbell overhead. Drop the under slightly into a quarter squat to catch for 4 to 6 reps each side. Now for set 3, we got alternate dumbbell hang snatch. So starting with the one dumbbell, performing hang snatch with one arm, then switch at hands at the bottom mid-swing. Perform the next snatch with the opposite arm, continuing to alternate 10 to 12 total reps, 5 to 6 reps each side. So with these movements, it's very important that we do use a proper leg drive and proper hip extension and explosion to make sure that we drive that weight up over our head, because without these movements, we will are prone to injury. Now moving to our last modality is going to be Olympic lift jerk variation exercise with equipment. So we got exercise number 1, we got dumbbell push jerk. So we got set number 1, we got dumbbell push press with no drop under. So what does that mean? You're just going to be go ahead and just slightly bend your knees, no squat, slight bend your knees and just pressing the weight up. Start with dumbbells in front rack position, shoulders, slight knee dip, then drive the dumbbells overhead using leg power. Finish with arms locked and body full and body tall for 6 to 8 reps. Now moving to set number 2, we got dumbbell push jerks. Start in front rack, dip quickly, then drive dumbbells overhead while dropping under into a quarter squat. Stand fully after receiving the dumbbells overhead. Moderate dumbbells for 4 to 6 reps. They got alternating dumbbell push jerks for split or cycling style. Start in front rack, perform a push jerk with one arm, keeping the other at your side or holding a second dumbbell at rack. Alternating arms each rep, or perform cycling reps with both dumbbells. Reset quickly between reps, or perform cycling reps with both dumbbells. Repeat. So reset quickly between reps and moving on. Now we got our second exercise. We got dumbbell clean and jerks. For set 1, we got start with the dumbbells between your feet, hinge at the hips and clean with the dumbbell to the shoulder using leg and hip drive. Pause and press the dumbbell overhead, strict or with light leg push, light dumbbell 6 reps each side. For set 2, we got clean the dumbbell to the shoulder with an explosive hip drive, hip dip and jerk the under slightly, lock out overhead, then stand fully. Moderate dumbbell 4 to 6 each side. For set 3, we got double dumbbell clean and split jerk. Start with both dumbbells between your feet. Clean both dumbbells simultaneously to the front rack. Perform a split jerk. Dip, drive, then drive and drop into a lunge position as you punch dumbbells overhead, moderate to intense, heavy. So it's very important we do keep the weight close to our body. Without that, it can prevent us from hyperextending our elbows or putting a lot of pressure in our shoulder joints. Now for general cool down activities, these activities gradually begin the heart rate down and begin the recovery process. Light jog or walk for 2 minutes. The purpose is to slowly reduce heart rate and shift into recovery. Now moving to jumping jacks, low impact, nice and quick movements. You're gonna do 1 minute. Purpose is to maintain light movement to flush the legs and aid in circulation. Deep breathing and standing forward fold. 1 minute. Reset breathing, relax the nervous system and stretch posterior chain. Right? These are the movements that's gonna go ahead and keep us nice and figured out stretch. So now we got specific cool downs, final stretching, static stretching, hold each side for 30 seconds. Hip flexor stretching, kneeling from a lunge position, push hips forward slightly and raise arm on one same side as back, leg. Target hip flexors, quads. Then we're gonna move into a standing overhead tricep stretch. Reach one arm overhead, bend the elbow, and gently press the opposite hand. Target shoulders, triceps. And that will be concluding today's workout. Hopefully everything's well. I appreciate you listening to these first audio of the first 18-20 minutes of the workout, and enjoy the rest of the actual workout and exercises. workouts, I'm actually be going and demonstrating using my voice instead of using the voiceover when it comes to doing actually the workouts. So for our first set, right, we're gonna go ahead and do box jumps. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and just be facing lateral towards the box, just like you saw from my perspective, where how you can see my knees and my hips align with each other when I'm performing a box jump. So whenever we're starting here, we're starting in an athletic position, right? Hinge our hips slightly back, having our hands on our sides, make sure our knees are slightly bent. When you go ahead and move into a full hip extension, you're going to go ahead and come up, land softly on the box, stand back up, then go ahead and move into a step down. By step down, we're going to step slightly softly down, so we can prevent ourselves of having a lot of knee strain. So we can go ahead and just put less emphasis on our knees and just focus on a hip power extension from the lateral from the box jump. So I'm gonna show you from from a rear position, right, from my going to my back side, just so you get a different perspective. Right, you want to see coming from my hips, squatting down, slight hinge, knee bend. Go back up, fully stand, then you're going to alternate with the leg that you first started off with. Right? So every time you're stepping down, you're stepping down with the opposite leg. So it's very important that we come into a full hip extension so we can go ahead and get the full power action moving and use our power to get onto the box jump. Now moving to the second set, we're going to be performing a lateral box jump on a low box. So with this box, I'm going to go ahead and stick with the same size with the 20-inch box. So same concept. Just like I'm doing a forward box jump, now we're going to be going and standing laterally in the box, facing lateral, right? So I'm not facing the box now. Now my hips are facing forward towards the camera. So what we're going to do, same concept. We're going to go ahead and hinge our hips, squat slightly into athletic position, have our hands, right slightly next to our knees, laterally from our knees. Go ahead and hinge it, bend your knees slightly little. Now we're going to go ahead and do, now we're going to go ahead and rotate, right, not facing the box. So we're going to go from here, slightly flat on the box, like still, right, still, athletic position, knees slightly bent, fully stand, right, go ahead and step back down again, right. Okay, what you're going to be alternating again. So we're going to stand on the same side now, we're going to be going jumping to my left side, right, and we're going to the same position, slightly landing on the box, make sure that we land in the same stand position just that we jumped into, stand back up, go ahead and step down with the opposite leg, come back down. Very similar concepts, right? And now instead of facing lateral, it's gonna be more intense because we're gonna be facing the position and we're gonna have to rotate our hips, right, towards the box. Now for our third set, for our last final set, when it comes to doing the box jump movement, we're gonna be performing a weighted step down to high jump by releasing the dumbbells towards the ground once we step down into the full athletic position where we hinge our hips and slightly bending our knees, just like we've been practicing doing the box jump movement. So, right, we got our 15 pounds. So for this workout, I go ahead and stretch 15 pounds for myself. So it's very, very lightweight for me, right? So we're gonna go ahead and feel the resistance, right? When we're doing a step down position, we got the gravity and the 15 pounds pulling us down, right? From the dumbbells, we're gonna go ahead and release it and go ahead and perform a plyometric movement to the high jump position to go ahead and increase the force coming off the ground to build our vertical jump. So we're going to do, right? Let's go ahead and move into a step up. Right, what we want us to do, we want to go ahead and come into a step down. Same position, right? Landing. Right now we're landing with our hips hinged and our knees slightly bent out. Now what we're going to do is just release the dumbbells, come up, jump. Same position, standing back again. Right? With this movement, we want to go ahead and perform and activate those quads. Right? Whenever we're going into the full engagement muscle from here in this position, having the dumbbells off to our side, and then performing the high jump as high as we can. Right? With this exercise, we'll go ahead and do is going to build our power, right, from our legs, our lower extremities, and then also that's going to get used to the resistance from coming to a resisted to a non-resisted. Now moving to our second exercise, we're going to be performing the hand release push-up. Right? In order to start with the hand release push-up, we want to be able to get in order to do the first of the the actual just general push-up, where we have our chest touch the ground without having to release our hands off the ground. So with that, what we're going to practice doing the first movement is going to be we're going to incline push-up. So we're going to just put our hands either on either a bench, a box, or a box jump. So or a step up. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put the hands here, shoulder width apart, nicely coming down, nice and slow, keeping our chest nice upward, make sure that we have our elbows nice and tucked between each other and press, right? So right? Coming now from a lateral perspective, just actually going to demonstrate. Right, I want to go ahead and do is press, make sure that we have our hips aligned with our spine, making sure our chest comes nice and towards the box, nice and release, pressing back up, right? So we want to prevent ourselves from flaring out our elbows by that, so we have to go ahead and make sure that we bring our hands nice and tucked in between each other, bring your chest nice and towards the box, pressing back up, okay? Now for our second set, we're gonna go ahead and now perform a hand release push-up to pop up. So we're gonna go ahead and start with a shoulder width apart handstand. So we're gonna make sure that our hands are aligned with our shoulders. And then when we do the pop up, we're gonna go ahead and bring them closer to each other to engage more of our triceps and our shoulders. So with that, to do the hand release push-up, by demonstrating that, what we're gonna go ahead and do is make sure that when we come in the bottom position, we bring our hands and feet off the ground and go ahead and press back up. That's gonna be a full hand release push-up, coming down nice and slow, making sure that we have our hands and feet come off the ground and press back up. Now practicing the pop-up, we're just gonna go ahead and do the same concept, right? Now we're gonna go ahead and do is perform a push-up to bring our hands right here, shoulder width apart, to now closer to more to get more of our triceps, right? So now to perform the movement, what we're going to do is bring your hands off the ground, press, pop back up, right, to a narrow position. Now coming back nice and slow, bring our hands back out again to shoulder width apart position, feet and hands off the ground, press, and popping up back up. Make sure our hands are close together to engage our triceps, right? So that will conclude the second set. Now we'll move on to the third one. Now moving to our final set, to our second exercise, modality number 1. We're now going to be doing a hand release push-up to clap, right? Just like we're doing the pop-up. Now, instead of just doing the normal pop-up where we land on our hands, we're going to be doing a clap at the top position, then land with our hands fully out, right? Now we're going to be going ahead and performing our hands narrower. Now we're just going to be landing with our hands still shoulder width apart, just making sure that once we get the clap, bring your hands nice as close, as fast towards the ground to make sure we catch ourselves. So with this exercise, it's all about pushing your body, pushing it, and make sure you get enough air so we can go ahead and perform the clap and make sure we have enough time to make sure we get our hands, making sure we have a quick agility reaction to get our hands back on the ground. So with this one, we're going to be demonstrating in both from a frontal and lateral perspective. So now we're doing the hand release push-up. We're going to go ahead and bring our hands back up, pop up, and clap. Right, just like I said, remember it's very important that we do bring our hands come up together. So now I'm performing one more time to correctly demonstrate. Hands back up the ground, clap, and then make sure you come nice and slow. One more time, hands, feet off the ground, press up, making sure you come nice and slow, right? Now come and demonstrate from a lateral perspective, so as you can see here, right? We want to make sure that we have our chest aligned, hands shoulder width apart, right outside our shoulders. Go ahead and come here. Press. One more time, hand release, hands and feet off the ground, press. Nice and slow. Okay, that will conclude our second exercise. Now we're going to move on to the second modality and first exercise. So for our second movement, for our first minute on our second modality, we're going to be going to do light hang cleans with the kettlebells. So the way we're going to set up, sort of from a lateral perspective, right, you're going to go ahead and bring the weights right above here on you're going to squat slightly, right, position, right? So now we're going to like a semi-squat, quarter squat, make sure we have our chest up, back nice and straight, having the weights off to our side. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and bring the weights, rotate them, and back up here up into our front rack position. Right, same position here, coming down, starting from a frontal perspective. We're going to bring it here. Going to bring the weights up nice up to our elbows and front rack position. What we're going to do, now we're going to go ahead and rotate, right, so we can prevent ourselves from slamming the weights on our wrists. So we're going to rotate, circle, up and down here, front rack position, up nice and high. Right, one more time, make sure our chest up straight, back straight, slightly squat bend, knee bend, small squat position, rotate the weight into front rack. Once you're done, that's going to be our first set of the movement. Now we're going to move into our second set. Now they're going to be with the hang clean with the kettlebells. So now instead of doing it with dual, we're going to do it with one. So we're going to go ahead and perform a hand swing, kettlebell swing to a clean. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and have the weight go ahead and come just like here to like a kettlebell swing position, now with a single arm. So we're going to bring it up, go ahead and rotate, bring it up to a front rack position, right? So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and use light weight for this set. However, it's supposed to go a little bit heavier during the second set to make the exercise a little bit more intense, a little more difficult. All right, coming to a lateral perspective, right? We're gonna go ahead and do, you want to hinge, right? You want to go into a hinge position. So by that, you want to go ahead and push your hips back as far as you can by allowing your hand coming back, pulling the weight from behind, between your legs, pulling up, and you're going ahead and rotate, right? So with that, you want to go ahead and bring the hand, our hand position, rotate as it is, come bring it out forward, bring your elbow up, allowing that hip drive and a lower extremity power to bring that kettlebell back into a front rack position. Once you're done, you're gonna go ahead and start with the other hand again. So now we're going to do the same concept, bringing up that weight back up, coming up nice and forward. We're having our elbows tucked in towards our body and our elbow into a front rack position. Now coming to the lateral perspective, right? Go ahead, remember, same thing. They want to drive the weight back past, bring it up, and back down. Now we're moving to our third and final set of the first exercise. We're going to go ahead and do a hang clean to press, right, with the kettlebells. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and have the weights here, right, resting on our thighs. What we're going to do is just bring the weight slightly, bend, bring up the weights, rotate them, and then press up, right? So right, with the push press, we want to make sure it's nice and strict. But whenever, it's gonna be one clean motion, right? For the push press, you wanna make sure you have the fully overhead elbow extension, right, with the kettlebells, right? Now from the hang cleans, you wanna make sure that we bring them up. Bring the weight nice and up, core towards our body, right, with a slight bend in our knees. Right, we're gonna go ahead and have the weights here, go ahead and rotate, then press, right, back down, right? You wanna make sure that we bring our elbows nice and closer to our body to like a hack, to a pull, to upright row, to a pull. Here, rotate, press, right? Lateral perspective. Make sure every spot. Nice and here, pull, clean, press. That's gonna be concluding our first exercise with the kettlebell cleans, right? With the Olympic cleans. Now we're gonna move into the second movement. Now moving to our second exercise with the first set, we're going to perform a single arm kettlebell dead clean. So with that, what we're going to do is using one kettlebell and bring it off to the side. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off with the weight, all right, standing between our feet, starting at the bottom position, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to make sure that our hands are coming up here, right? So we're going to have a pronated grip. That means our hands, our palms are going to be facing down, right? But our palms are going to be facing forward. So what that means, we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to have our hands off to the side, our chest nice and up, right? What we're going to go ahead and do is bring the weight up into a clean, starting from the bottom position, right? So we want to make sure that we have our hands, we're going to want to make sure to keep our hands, our kettlebell nice and close to our body. We're going to go ahead and rotate up, right? Rotate our wrist, keep it to going up to a full front rack position. Lateral perspective, showing with the arm that is going to be coming down, right? Same thing, right? Like you see how the chest is up, we're gonna have our hips as low as towards the ground, our kettlebell right between our feet, bringing the kettlebell up to a high pull, go ahead and rotate to a front rack position, right? So now moving to a quick variation, here, rotate, elbow nice and tucked in, rotating our wrist to a nice soft landing to a front rack position. This will be our first movement, right? Our first set of the hang to the power clean of the kettlebells, and that'll be our first set. Now moving to our second set, it's still gonna be another single arm movement, just how we did with the hang cleans. Now starting from the back, now we're starting from the front position, right? So now we're gonna go ahead and do start fully extended here at the front position, right, with the kettlebell facing in front of us. What we're going to do is gonna bring out forward, hinge back, into a power clean, right? So at power clean, we go ahead and come back here and go ahead and explode our feet by popping up, right? With the power clean, if you want to come the full have our body full extremity, you want to be able to pump our feet, right? It's a power movement. But now, we're going to be starting from the bottom position, starting here, or with the kettlebell facing here forward of us, in between our feet. Go ahead and bring up, right, forward position, back, press, back down. Come forward, back, press up, again, right? You always want to make sure that the kettlebell starts at the forward position, right? When we come back up, forward, hinge, press up, right? Lateral perspective, right? Coming here, same position. Deadlift, forward, back, clean, right? Remember, we always want to pump our feet. So again, here, back, forward, hinge, back up. Now we'll complete our second set. Now we're moving to our third and final set of the second exercise. Now moving to our third set, we're going to go into a dual kettlebell clean, starting from the floor. So now we're going to have our theory. Go ahead and place the kettlebells here at our feet. Or we're going to go ahead and start at a supinated position. So what we're going to go ahead and do is make sure that we fully squat down, right? Make sure that our kettlebell is going to be here. Now we're fully squatting down. Our chest nice and up, back nice and straight. So we're going to bring the weight into a high pull position, and then we're going to go ahead and clean by squatting down, right? So what we're going to do is come here, front right position, right? Then I slow it down, step by step. Starting from the ground, we're going to go high pull, break up into a front right position and squat, side squat down. But whenever we catch the weight, we want to go ahead and catch the weight slightly, just in a squat position and fully extend. Now we'll go one more time. What we're going to do is rotate the bar, rotate the kettlebells, wrist position, rotate wrist, come back, front rack. Laterally. Remember, chest up. We want to make our chest up nice and here, nice and straight. Fully engage our lats. High pull position. Squat back. Fully extend over their feet. One more time. Pop our feet. Back nice and straight. Chest up. High pull. Jump. Rotate. Fully extend up standing. This will conclude our third and final set of the workout of the exercise. Now moving from the second modality movement to the third one, and we're going to go ahead and start from the beginning. Now with the third modality, we're going to go ahead and be working on is reaction and quickness, timing with either medicine balls, tennis balls, or slam balls. So for our first exercise, we're going to be doing wall tosses and catches with this will instead with a tennis ball. We go ahead and get a crossball. Go ahead and use it with self-myofascial releases with this ball. So it's very bouncy, as you can see. You can go ahead and catch it very good when it comes to catching drills, just like this, right? Going to the wall in different directions. So lost the ball. So coming back, right? That's why it's very important. We have proper coordination. So for our first movement, what we're going to do is wall tosses and catches. So you want to go ahead and do stand 4 to 6 feet with the ball. So like that, you can go ahead and just step 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, just like here. So when you want to do it underhand, start out with your dominant hand. So with me, I'll do my right hand. We're going to go ahead and perform an under toss and catch it with the left hand. So under toss with the right, catch with the left, right, and pronated grip. So you want to have our hands our palms facing up, not facing this way. So our palms facing down. So we go ahead and catch here, catch just like that. So underhand here, catch just like this. So all it's going to do is go ahead and help with coordination and reaction skills. So this is very good for baseball players, softball players, or anything that has to do with reaction timing. So we got 30 seconds. We're going to perform it for 30 seconds with one arm. Then we're going to switch. Now with my dominant hand with my left hand, I'm going to go ahead and catch with my right with my dominant hand. So underhand here, go ahead and catch with my right. All right, wall toss. Make sure you catch the ball. See? Just do it one more time. See? My techniques ain't the best, right? Just make sure that we throw the ball as hard as we can. Catch with our right. Underhand again. Catch with our right. So this is going ahead and really help coordinate with coordination and catching and reaction skills, just like in baseball and softball or any other sport that has to do with a lot of reaction timing and skills. Now moving with the medicine ball catch, you want to go ahead, same concept just like we were doing with the tennis ball or lacrosse ball, same concept, but now we're going to do it using with the slam ball. So what we're going to do is catch the ball holding from this position, catching it, throwing the ball up high, right? Catching it low, right? So like an underhand toss, but now with both hands at the same time, right? Both hands here, same time, catching up, catching low. It's all about reaction time. Catching ball, catching low, right? It's very similar, it's like a wall toss. Catching here, catching low. Make sure that we throw it up, catch your underhand, right? Into a supinated grip, and then we're catching the ball. Now for our third set, what we're going to go ahead and perform is going to be a lateral medicine ball slam to the wall and catch. So what we're going to go ahead and do, this is going to help coordinate lateral strength and power when it comes to truck rotation as well. So we're going to go ahead and do is go ahead and perform here, slam right here, and catch, right? That's all you're doing. Just coming back and catching the ball. Quick, quick, quick. Then once you're there, you go ahead and rotate now. Now when you start on your other side, you're going to go ahead and bring the ball to your left side to like a wood chop position. Bring the ball up and catch, 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 right? You want to always stay in athletic position. So squatting here, catching the ball is very position. You always stay in the same exact spot. To make the action a little more difficult, you want to stand a little more out, right? Just so you can halfway see my body, swing back up, a little harder. Catch, catch, catch. This will conclude our first exercise of the reaction modality drills. Now we're going to move into the second exercise. Now moving to our second exercise of the reaction drills, we're going to be done doing this with the lacrosse ball, is just self drop and catch. So with this, right, all you need is one person, you don't need anybody else. So with the ball, what you want to go ahead and do, you want to bring out the ball out shoulder length, and you want to go ahead and do is try to catch the ball before it hits the ground. So it's like you release here, catch, right? All this is going to go ahead and do is test that reaction skill, right? Based on self-absorption, right? So since I am throwing the ball myself, it is much easier compared to doing it with a partner. So just like again, bring the ball here, shoulder height. And what you want to do is you can either catch the ball either underhand here, or to be a little more difficult, catch it with a pronated grip, the same way that you're releasing it. You want to catch, right? Catch here. Just like that. See how it is a bit more difficult, right? So I'd say for myself, since my reaction skills is not quite sure the best, usually catch the ball here, supinated grip. Supinated grip, right? Supinated, right? You want to go ahead and alternate to your non-dominated hand, right? Catch the same thing, right? Just because now try it with the same pronated grip, right? You want to go to catch. Just catch. As low as, try to get the ball as low as you can, and you got to catch it as fast as you can as well. You know what I mean? So those are some skills that I must really have to work on. So this is going to be it for the first exercise, the first set of the second exercise, moving on to the reaction drills. Now we're moving to the trunk movements to modality number 4. We're going to go ahead and do performing a crunch, basically to like a Russian twist to a slam ball. So we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to bring your feet up nice towards yourselves, just like here, right? And we're going to bring the weight across our body, throw against the wall, and catch. Right, you're going to have your feet slowly elevated, right? Russian twist, sound the wall, and bring it out. So what this is going to do is going to go ahead and engage a lot of more core movements. So you always want to make sure that we have our feet off the ground, right, with a medicine ball in our hands here, and just bring it out. Right, you always want to make sure to bring that power into our core is go ahead and do like a wood chop all the way out and catch the ball in front of you, right? So this movement's all about engaging our obliques and engaging the core as much as we can, right? To make the exercise a little more harder, you bring a heavier medicine ball, or with that we can go ahead and just go and do it to a Russian twist, 1, 2, and throw the ball, okay? Now moving to our second set, we're going to do rotational with the medicine ball. So you're going to just bring the ball overhead, bring it around here, right? Rotational, as in you're going to go bring the ball over and slam, right? Now you're going to go ahead, same thing. Now other side, start again, right? Until you get to the other side, bring it out, right? Always hit the ball overhead, bring it around, get it. Overhead again, bring it around, right? Again. So when you have the ball overhead, you're fully engaging our core. Then we're going to slam the ball, rebound, catch it, go into the opposite rotation, overhead, and throw, slam the ball again. Now moving to the second exercise of modality number 5. What we're going to do is do your trunk twist. What we're going to do is go ahead and engage our core by breathing nice and tightly. We're going to do, instead of moving our hips, all we're just doing is moving our core to the side here. Right, all you're going to do is twist. Nice and slow, tense. Nice and close, real breathing, the Vouch maneuver technique. Nice and slow, without moving your hips. Engaging our core. What it's going to help us do is build that core stability and endurance, or whenever we're performing any movements that requires a lot of core strength. So we're going to go ahead and keep moving, nice and slow. Breathing nice and slowly. Keep our core fully contracted. All this is a simple trunk twist. Right? What this allows us to fully engage in doing our anti-rotational movements, such as doing pull-off presses, right? Pull-off press, anti-rotational. You're not moving your hips, keeping yourself nice and stability, right? Or wood chops with a band, just nice and anti-rotational movements. But this is gonna help us just focus, keeping our core nice and tight and fully engaged the whole way, right? And rotating our hips. And good. Now we're going to be going on to the second exercise. Second set of the second exercise. We're going to be doing a jumping jack to trunk twist. So what you're going to do, pick forward, rotate your abdominals, jumping jack again, other side, right? Every side is one set, excuse me. So you go ahead and keep yourself those slides, jumping jack. Make sure you engage our core here. Same thing, right? And move. Now moving to our third and final set of modality number 5. We're going to be doing the same thing, just like we did it for the first exercise. Now we're going to have our feet fully planted on the ground. Now we're going to go ahead and focus more on just bringing the weight across our shoulders and catching it. So you want to make sure that we have our fully body twist, our feet are touching the ground, and throw it up, catch, fully twist our body. So we have to really overextend our hips to get the engagements to like a wood chop and catch it. Once you're done, you can go ahead and rotate. Right, always remember, the only difference is between the first exercise of this set from the last set to this set is keeping our feet down the ground to fully engage our core, right, by bringing the weight outward and catching it. Now moving to modality number 5, we got Olympic snatching movements. So the first one, we got a muscle snatch with no load, so that means no resistance. So we're gonna go ahead and make sure I get enough space between your body. Right, what I like to do is I like to go ahead and have my middle of my ring finger around the ridges or the little line that you can see here. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring the bar down, go ahead and pick it up. So we're going to do a snatch. So what the snatch is, you're gonna go ahead and do is just bring the bar overhead to fluid movement. So what we're going to do is have our bars right over our knees, squatting slightly down, back straight, nice and here, and bring it up nice and slow. So it's going to be one quick movement. So you're bringing the weight overhead, right? Just bringing it close to you, right, and pulling up forward. You're always going to use your lower body and your power within your hips and knees and your feet. Nice and slow here again. Now coming from a lateral point of view. Remember, chest up, back straight, bar over our hip, over my thighs and knees. Right, you're going to bring the weight here. Nice and simple. Back down. That'll conclude our first set. Then we're going to move into the second one. Now we're going to move over to the hang snatch, right? Now we're gonna be starting from our feet. Instead of coming from the ground, we're gonna have our coming from the snatch position or from the hang snatch. Is starting the weight over our quads, just like how we did it, and now we're starting with the load. Just like very similar concept. Now we have some light loads to go ahead and progress to the second set. So go ahead, same thing. Grab the bar around with our ring fingers, right on the rings. Go ahead and bring the weight nice and down here, right? Make sure you're relaxed, fully engaged, back straight, chest up, right? Now we're gonna go ahead and do the same concept. Now bring the weight up. Now it's still coming up nice and funny, easy, right? Make sure that we use our hips. And coming back up and down, right? One more time again, right? You want to use our lower body and our lower body extremities to bring that power up with the air. So now we're going to use our upper body strength to bring that weight overhead. And go here. Nice simple movement. Back down. And that'll conclude our second set. Now moving on to the third one. Now moving to our third and final set, same concept. Now we're gonna heavier load, right? We're only progressing snatches by bringing heavier load. Now I got 25 pounds, right? We're going to do the same concept. Just bring the weight here. Now let's go ahead and do it from the same position. Same concept now. Make sure that we have our hips. Now we have heavier weight. Very important. We use that power in our hips, in our quads, and our feet whenever we bring the weight up into our upper body in one fluid motion. So now same concept here. I'm going to engage my back, chest up nice and straight, engage my lats. Go ahead and bring my weight nice and forward. Right, nice and easy back up and down, right? So same thing, moving again, one more time, right? Nice and easy coming back down. Weight right over my knees. Go into a side position. Use my hips. Squat back down, come back, and bring down. You know, it's only 25 pounds, not a lot of weight. However, I don't perform a lot of Olympic lifts. So to me, this is a good milestone for me to start. So this will conclude our first exercise. Now moving to the second exercise. Now moving to modality number 5, we got Olympic snatching movements. So the first one, we got a muscle snatch with no load. So that means no resistance. So we're gonna go ahead and make sure I get enough space between your body. Right, what I like to do is I like to go ahead and have my middle of my ring finger around the ridges or the little line that you can see here. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring the bar down. Go ahead and pick it up. So we're going to do a snatch. So what the snatch is, you're gonna go ahead and do is just bring the bar overhead to one fluid movement. So we're going to do is have our bars right over our knees, squatting slightly down, back straight, nice and here, and bring it up nice and slow. So it's going to be one quick movement. So you're bringing the weight overhead, right? Just bringing it close to you, right, and pulling up forward. You're always going to use your lower body and your power within your hips and knees and your feet. Nice and slow here again. Now coming from a lateral point of view. Remember, chest up, back straight, bar over our hip, over my thighs and knees. Right, you're going to bring the weight here. Nice and simple. Back down. That'll conclude our first set. Then we're going to move into the second one. Now we're going to move over to the hang snatch. Right, now we're going to be starting from our feet. Instead of coming from the ground, we're going to have our coming from the snatch position or from the hang snatch. Is starting the weight over our quads, just like how we did it, and now we're starting with the load. Just like very similar concept. Now we have some light loads to go ahead and progress to the second set. So go ahead, same thing. Grab the bar around with our ring fingers, right on the rings. Go ahead and bring the weight nice and down here, right? Make sure you're relaxed, fully engaged, back straight, chest up, right? Now we're gonna go ahead and do the same concept. Now bring the weight up. Now it's still coming up nice and funny, easy, right? Make sure that we use our hips. And coming back up and down, right? One more time again, right? You want to use our lower body and our lower body extremities to bring that power up with the air. So now we're going to use our upper body strength to bring that weight overhead. And go here. Nice simple movement. Back down. And that'll conclude our second set. Now moving on to the third one. Now moving to our third and final set. Same concept. Now we're going to heavier load. Right? We're only progressing snatches Right, bring your heavier load. Now I got 25 pounds. Right, we're going to do the same concept. Just bring the weight here. Now, let's go ahead and do it from the same position. Same concept now. Make sure that we have our hips. Now we have heavier weight. Very important, we use that power in our hips, in our quads, in our feet, whenever we bring out the weight up into our body in one fluid motion. So now same concept here. I'm going to engage my back, chest up nice and straight, engage my lats. Go ahead and bring my weight nice and forward. Right, nice and easy back up and down, right? So, same thing, moving again, one more time, right? Nice and easy coming back down. Weight right over my knees. Go into a side position, use my hips. Squat back down, come back, and bring down. You know, it's only 25 pounds, not a lot of weight. However, I don't perform a lot of Olympic lifts. So to me, this is a good milestone for me to start. So this will conclude our first exercise. Now moving to the second exercise. Now moving into jerks. We're gonna go ahead and start performing the very basics to a clean and press. So clean and press is very similar to a jerk. Now instead of just popping our feet back forward, we're gonna be cleaning and push pressing. So for our first movement, right, our first set, we're going to start at the very bottom position, right? We're gonna go ahead and bring up the weight, rotate, and then press. Slightly squat, and press back up. So with the jerk movements, it's very similar, but now we're just going to popping and bringing our feet back, right? Now, with cleaning and pressing, it's a two-step movement. It's not one fluid motion, right? We're gonna go instead of rotate, and now press, right? Because we're still gonna be overhead pressing with the jerks. So we're first gonna start off with just cleaning and pressing with the kettlebells. Same thing now also with the opposite side. Now we're going to go ahead and rotate, start at the very bottom, rotate here, and press. Squat and press. We're getting used to bringing that heavier weight when we do the jerks. You know, squatting down here, coming out, rotating our wrists, squatting out, and pressing fully overhead, full elbow extension. This is a good our first set. Now we're going to be moving on to the second one. Now we're moving into the single arm clean and jerk, split stance clean and jerk. So what it's going to go ahead and do, right? Starting out with single arm first. So we're going ahead and bring up the weight, right? Clean, and we're going to go ahead and jerk, fully stand up, lock our elbows, stand up, back up straight, and bring down, right? Now we're going to go ahead and alternate. Now we'll go ahead and demonstrate it in a lateral perspective. You're going to go ahead, like I very similar to the clean and press, go ahead and rotate, bring the elbow to a rack position. Now we're going to go ahead and go ahead and do a split stance position while locking out overhead fully, come back up, bring it all the way to a push press position, back down, and reset, right? You always, whenever you're performing the weight, you always want to make sure you split, and once you feel you're fully locked, you fully got the weight fully engaged and stabilized, fully stand back up, bring it back down, and start again, and reset. That is now the basics of a clean and jerk. Now we're gonna go ahead and do is now move into the third set. So we're gonna be doing it with the weight fully, with both on our sides, right? Instead of being unilateral, both together, dual at the same time. Now moving into our last set of movement, what we're going to go ahead and do a clean and jerk with both kettlebells in our hands. So we're gonna go ahead and start off here with the weights in between our thighs. Go ahead and bring squat down. We're going to clean, right? Once we're done here, we're gonna go ahead and jerk. Right now we're going to do it to a split stance position and press. So we go press back up. Once you fully locked out, stand back straight. Bring the weights back down, kettlebell down together, and then reset. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate it now, again, from a lateral perspective. Remember, chest always up, back straight, hips aligned with your spine. Bring the weights here. You're gonna go ahead and rotate your wrists, right? Nice and easy. Front rack position. Squat down slightly. Go ahead and put your feet back to split stance position. Walk back straight. Once you're fully locked and stabilized, bring another weight back to your shoulders. Go ahead and reset again, and you're done. That will conclude our modality 6 with the clean and jerks. And now we'll be moving on. So actually, our first exercise, which I totally forgot to demonstrate. Now moving into our first exercise of modality 6, we got push press. So push press is very similar to like a military press or strict press. The only difference is we're still slightly bending, and dipping. So all we're going to go ahead and do is bring the weights right over our shoulders to like a dumbbell overhead press. Go ahead and slightly bend our knees and press up. You want to use your leg drive to press, right? You want to use all that legs and that power to go ahead and bring the dumbbells up. So it's very simple and pressing. From a lateral perspective, bring the weights here, slightly bend your squat, bend your knees, and press. Slightly center beam and press, right? We want to utilize our leg drive to go ahead and increase the weight up. That will conclude our first set, and then we'll move on to our second one. Now moving to our second set, is now we're doing a push press to jerk. So now, just like we're doing the push press, we're still going to be bending our knee, same concept, bending our knee, slightly pushing up the weight, but now we're going to go ahead and add a jerk. How you doing? Moving to a split stance squat position. So we're going to press here, slightly bend our knee, press, right, put our foot back out. Once you feel fully locked and weight fully extended, elbows fully extended, come back, walk up again, bring the weight back down again. So, right, you want to make sure we alternate legs. So whenever we're doing it again, go ahead and slightly squat again, slightly bend knee, press, and then go ahead and walk back up. Once you feel fully locked out and ready. Coming from another lateral perspective, we want to make sure that we go ahead, actually I'm going to rotate these with the weights are in the way. Go ahead and bring the weights here, with our knees, hips, fully bent, hips slightly bent, knees bent, press, fully to split side squat position, walk back up, and bring down the weights. That will conclude our second set. We'll be moving to our third and final set, and then I'll be concluding our workout as well. Now for our last movement, what we're going to be performing is alternating split and jerk. So we're going to be going in here doing our push press to jerk, but now we're going to be doing alternating, so unilateral. So one arm has to be fully extended up, and one double is actually going to be in a rack position. So how that's going to look. You're going to squat, press up, just like this. So one arm is fully extended back up, the other one is still in the rack position. Once you feel like you're ready, walk back up again. Now we're going to alternate. Push press, go to alternate split stance position, walk back up when you're ready. One more time. Now from a lateral perspective. Come in here, push press, bring one weight up, once fully locked up, bring back again, and we're going to alternate again. Push press, switching arms, walk back up, bring up here, and done. That will conclude modality 6, and that will conclude our third set, and then we're now moving on to the cool down of the workout, and then that will be it. Now for our cool down, what this will help us do is just utilize bringing our heart rate down. Like me, I'm a little bit winded, a little bit gassed. I do not perform a lot of Olympic movements. For someone who like me, who doesn't perform a lot of movements that requires a lot of anaerobic capacity and a lot of quick movements and high and fast twitch fibers, I'm very winded. So with this warm up, we're going to perform a 2-minute walk. So me, I won't perform a 2-minute walk. I would be just going over the cool down. So me, I'll be just walking around here, catching my breath. Go ahead and breathe nice through your nose, out your mouth. Go ahead and just bringing our heart rate down, getting our body fully relaxed, get our muscles less tense, and keep walking for just 2 minutes. Keep going and walking and walking and walking and walking and walking until I feel like I am ready. Now going over to the other. Now going back again to the cool down. Now we got another set. We got jumping jacks. Running real nice and slow to keep our body still fluid and blood flow. So for me, they use the cool jumping jacks just to bring yourselves nice and down for the cool down. For just a little bit for 2 minutes, right? 30-second intervals, quick 30 seconds, stop, 30 seconds again, stop, till we hit 2 minutes. And then for our last movement, we're gonna go ahead and perform, right, is just quick breathing. Breathing techniques. Just bring down our heart rate, calming our body down. Nice and slow. And then now that's gonna be our general cool down. Now we're gonna move into our specific cool downs for specific movements. That'll be gonna be conducting our stretching, our static stretching, and things of that nature. So what we're now gonna go ahead and do is perform our hip flexor stretch for our static movements. So we're gonna be in a lunge position here. Then we're gonna go ahead and do is flip forward. Go ahead and bring our weight. You may have a hard time doing it. Bring your weight back up. If you need help by using your other hand, go ahead and assist yourself. All you're gonna do is go ahead and bring it here. Bring your quad up forward. Still lunging forward. All we're gonna do is go ahead and engage our hip flexors. So then we're going to alternate to the opposite leg. Go ahead and bring your foot up. Bring it to a hip stretch here, and then move forward, right? That's the whole point, is to go ahead and flex our hips. If you have a hard time doing it, I'll perform is doing a cow stretch, which is very similar in a way, but now with a box jump, just like here. I'm going to perform it here. Don't mind the weight. Similar, just like that. Go ahead and move forward. Sit back on the box jump, right? So you lean back into your heels and hold that position. Push your hips forward, just like that. You can alternate between those two movements. If you have a hard time performing the first hip flexor movement, I also perform a cow stretch. And then lastly, for our specific warm-up, we're gonna be doing a tricep stretch for a static position. Go ahead and bring it here, overhead. Go ahead and push down with the alternate hand and hold that position for 20 to 30 seconds. Once you're done, you're gonna go ahead and alternate. Go ahead and turn for the camera. Go in here and press down. Hold that position for 30 seconds as well. Fully get the stretch. And that will be concluding my workout for video 2. Hopefully it's well demonstrated. Hopefully I correlated it very well. If there's any positive feedback within the notes, please advise. You know, I'm not really good at talking to a camera, but it was great with the course. We were able to learn a lot of different modalities and training techniques and putting up to the test with this assignment.